Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So today we had the release of Sauron, another new card entering the game into Pool 5. And we're just going to quickly talk about whether I think this card is worth your tokens or not. So this is the first of the Pool 5s that is not the Battle Pass card dropping this month. And it's a neat card. I do think this is one of those cards that kind of has decent long-term potential. As more cards get added to the game, it will probably get better. And I think it's kind of a fine card right now. The easiest card you can compare this to right now is something like Zero, where you are using it to get rid of negative effects, right? That's really the main application for this card. You remove bad text that is a drawback to make cards kind of better than they would be normally. Big ones that come to mind are things like Typhoid Mary, as well as Red Skull, Atuma too, but that's not an ongoing, so you can't really cancel that one out with Sauron, even though you can with Zero. But there are, enough of these cards to where you can get some value out of it, and I do think the fact that it applies the effect not only to your hand but your whole deck as well is nice in terms of like consistency. The issue I think right now is there just aren't enough negative downside ongoing effects for this to really reach a critical mass, and it's a lot less flexible than Zero is, where you can often find time to weave Zero into a turn, whereas you kind of have to take a whole turn off playing this 3 cost for 3 power, which doesn't always feel great. Now, one interesting interaction some people have talked about is Electro, because Electro has a negative downside, but a powerful on reveal. And that's pretty neat, but I'm pretty sure with how the card is worded, it removes all the abilities from the card. So it doesn't say it's just removing the ongoing abilities from the card, it removes all the abilities from the card. And by doing that, the card just doesn't really get like a ton better in Electro's example, because you're not actually getting to ramp with it. You probably have an easier time accomplishing that goal if you just have a way to destroy the Electro with Destroyer or with a Galactus deck or something like that. So overall, it's a neat design. I don't personally think there is enough support or enough cards that this impacts positively to make this really be worth a card that you want to acquire right away. And this kind of brings up what I think is a big issue with the Pool 5 system and how all new cards are entering the Pool 5 system. Since tokens are a very limited resource, and on average, when you finish Pool 3, you'll roughly be getting around 6,000 tokens a month if you are finishing your dailies and your weeklies and all that stuff. So you basically get to pick one Pool 5 of your choice. And unfortunately, due to this system and due to how expensive it is to get more than that one Pool 5 a month, people are kind of incentivized to focus on the card that is going to do the best for them, that is going to have the best performance, and it kind of pushes people away from going after a card they think is neat or fun, but isn't really as effective in the long term as some other Pool 5 options like Shuri or Darkhawk or Bast, or even stuff like Valkyrie or Thanos. So overall, I would pass on this card. I think by the time we get enough cards for this to reach a critical mass where it's good, there's a good chance the card is moved down to Pool 4 or Pool 3. I still don't have a timetable on that. Hoping we get one soon, but nobody knows. But I think the amount of time it's going to take for cards to be added to the game that actually make this really worth the slot in your deck, it probably won't cost 6,000 tokens anymore. And if it does cost 6,000 tokens, chances are at that time, the other new cards will also cost 6,000 tokens, and then it becomes a bit more of a commitment. I've seen so many people mention, they see a deck creator features and it has two Pool 5 cards, and it just feels so incredibly out of reach. And even though it'll feel a bit better once players finish Pool 3, it's still going to be a pretty slow trickle. So unfortunately, I don't think Sauron is really worth your tokens right now, but it's a neat card, and I think it might have potential in the future. But for now, it is a pass for me for 6k token. But I'm curious what y'all think about the card. Do you have some interesting brews with it? I'm sure some people are going to get it, and we'll see some experimentation, or a few lucky people will open it. But there's really just no, direct combo or deck that I think really benefits greatly, or a new deck kind of that can be built around something like this. Just needs more support. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.